Hi guys, welcome to the channel. It's the end of the decade, and you're seeing plenty of retrospective rounding up the last 10 years of smartphones and tech in general. But what about the future and the tech advances it might bring? How could smartphones change in the next 10 years? We've looked at a few trends of the 2010s, and in particular 2019, and estimated at where the trends could go by the year 2030, looking at everything from foldable phones to USB ports and 6G. But smartphones will naturally evolve, and these are the routes that we think they'll move down as consumers clamor for ever more useful features to justify the spiraling outlay. So, in today's video, we will show you how your smartphone look in 2030. Without further ado, let's begin. Foldable phones in the future. Foldable phones really entered the public eye in 2019 with multiple devices like the Samsung Galaxy Fold and Motorola Razr 2019 launch, although the latter wasn't available to buy during the year, and they're only going to get more popular as more devices are released. So, by 2029, could we all own foldable phones? Well, that depends on how phone companies navigate the next few years. At the moment, foldable phones are largely considered interesting gimmicks, but ones that most people, other than tech fans, wouldn't consider buying as their next phone. This is because of how pricey they are, and also because software hasn't been developed that really makes the most of the form factor. So, if the next few years brings foldable phones that are affordable and, more importantly, vital for certain functions, people will leap on board. 10 years is a long time, and it's highly likely that foldable phones will become affordable and useful pretty soon, but that depends on how willing people are to ditch the tired and trusted form factor of normal phones. Will 5G and 6G be popular? 5G is already out and about in several countries, although at the close of 2019, it still remains to be seen how long it will take for people to get on board with the tech. The added speed doesn't mean much for people in high-speed areas, where 4G is already faster than most people need, and no apps have been launched that really make the most of the high-speed connection. But in the coming years, companies will launch more 5G phones and fewer 4G handsets, following the pattern of every new generation of connectivity, to the point where it's normal to buy a 5G phone, just as you'd buy a 4G phone now. That's less because people need high-speed phones and more just because most of the devices on shelves will be 5G, with few or no 4G options. Towards the end of the decade, we could even see mentions of 6G. Donald Trump has already been demanding it. But we'll have to see how much people take to 5G and if we really even need faster connections before knowing for sure. The future on front-facing cameras. One of the biggest differentiating features between different smartphones nowadays is the front-facing camera. Does your phone have a big notch like the iPhone, a teardrop notch like plenty of phones use, a hole punch cutout like many Samsung phones, a pop-up like several companies have embraced, or something else entirely? Well, it's possible that future phones will have none of the above. The front-facing camera could actually be under the display. Oppo has shown off this tech already, and it's likely other companies are working on it too. This method removes the front snapper from view, so it won't take up screen space, but also won't take up a lot of internal space either, like pop-ups do. So what about the camera itself? Towards the end of 2019, we've seen a few smartphones use two front facers, one to take picture and a secondary sensor for depth sensing, for more accurate background blur. In the next few years, and especially into 2030, we'd expect this trend to get more established. Selfies are one of the main types of pictures you'll take on your phone after all. If you're enjoying the video, then make sure to hit the like button and subscribe to the channel for more amazing videos just like this. Goodbye ports. Many phones are dropping the 3.5mm headphone jack already, and those things will be ancient history by 2030. It would be a surprise if many phones even in 2020 kept the port. As more users flock to wireless headphones over wired ones, the amount of phone users who need to physically plug their headphones into the smartphone will reduce, and in 10 years, after years of advancing in Bluetooth technology, we'd be surprised if many people used wired headphones at all. More uncertain is the presence of a USB port to plug your phone into a computer or charger. We've already seen a few prototype phones without any ports, as handsets rely on wireless charging to power up and Wi-Fi, mobile data, or NFC options to send information and files to a computer. It's likely as wireless chargers get more popular and, more importantly, faster at powering up your device, people will rely less on physical wires, making a port more and more redundant. In that way, it echoes the use of wireless headphones, and in 2030, portless smartphones could be the new normal. More rear cameras? While you may think the future will bring you phones with plenty of smartphone cameras, far more so than now, that might not end up being the case. There are only so many different kinds of lenses, so we'll soon reach a point where adding more lenses adds nothing new. No, in fact, the real change will likely be megapixel count. At the end of 2019, the highest resolution in a smartphone was 108 megapixels in the Xiaomi Mi Note 10, but it looks like a number of phones in 2020 are gearing up to match that. In 10 years, though, that number could be through the roof. Well, at least 5 times nearer the roof. Scientists have estimated that the human eye sees roughly 576 megapixels, but that's assuming perfect vision with an image right by your face. So if you're looking at a phone at arm's length and don't have flawless vision, that number is higher than you'd ever need. So people don't need cameras with incredibly high megapixel counts, and it would be a surprise if phone companies decided to even reach 576 megapixels. Saying that, advances in megapixel counts will almost certainly be more pronounced in 2030 than the number of rear cameras. A holographic watch phone. Circuit Bracelet is one of the cool gadgets available on the market that gives you strong future vibes. They say, with this device, do what you used to do with your tablet, but directly on your skin, without a smartphone. You just wear it on your wrist, and the bracelet creates a hologram of your phone's interface. Anything possibly done on a tablet can be done on your skin itself with your fingers, such as you can watch a YouTube video, read emails, send text messages, or answer incoming phone calls. You can even play games. Let's become futuristic. Think about a holographic smartwatch phone. For the first time in the history of phones and watches, a holographic watch phone will come. A high-quality hologram that could read your commands. How about you get a notification on your phone, without touching the screen, you open the message with a hand gesture just like you have air gesture features in current phones. A hologram appears above your phone showing the message. Future chargers. You will have every possible future technology in smartphones, but will there be cell phones in the future that don't need to be charged? Well, scientists might be working on it. Wireless chargers of the future will juice up your future smartphone much faster than your current charger. In like 10 minutes, your phone will be 100% charged and the battery will easily hold the charge for 2 days. So guys, let me know down in the comments section below which technology you like the most. For more interesting content, give this video a thumbs up and don't forget to subscribe to the channel for more awesome content. Have a nice day, and I will see you in the next video.